here on the Ombudsman Radio. My name is Mati Fati, and of course, I won't be holding you down this segment alone. I have with me two incredibly awesome powerhouses in the studio with me that are going to be doing this. I have Simsi and I have Dami. Hi, guys.
Hello.
How do you feel to be here?
Great, as usual.
Damn.
It's always a pleasure.
It's my pleasure having you guys always. Thank you for agreeing to do this again. So you're watching wondering, oh, what are they up to this time? What do they want to tell me? What's new? There's everything new, and in this episode you're about to find out. We would be discussing two concepts that have caused debate over the years, over centuries even, or maybe not. So we will be discussing working in silence or putting out or sharing your process online. Which words? I have two people that are going to be telling me about these two concepts and everything it entails. I will be starting with you, Simsi. Hi again.
Hello.
So could you put light or share light rather on the concept of sharing your process online?
So, sharing your journey basically is what it implies. You're starting a project, a business, relationship, your lifestyle, whatnot, anything you just venture into, and then you're documenting every process, and not just documenting it, you are putting it out there for everybody to see. Every the blueprint, how it started, what the project is. I'm using project because I mean that's visibly what most people would want to put out there. Maybe a business or a relationship or friendship or whatnot. And then you're putting it out there for people to know when you started, how it's going, and then eventually if you have come to the end of the project, what the end result is looking like, or you're just out there. You're not hiding. You're putting from the very beginning. I like to use this example here when you are probably trying to build or set up a workspace,
Yeah.
like a physical workspace, and then the initial foundation, the decoration, all of that. You're putting everything out there for people to follow up. Yeah, so that's a sharing process.
That's really amazing. Thank you. If I get you correctly, and if I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of you watching me right now, what Simply just said is that, putting your process or sharing your processes out there has to do with, you have to start from the ideation stage to, when everything is finalized. You don't just
Yeah.
come out and say, okay, this is it. I've been able to achieve this.
Yeah.
You carry people along the
Along,
way, and
yeah.
I feel like that's incredible, by
Yes,
the way.
yes.
So, Dami, could you tell us what it means to work in silence?
Okay, as the name implies, and as opposed to what Simpson just said about sharing your process, working in silence is doing your stuff in your space without distractions, without opposition, just focusing on your stuff, probably sharing results after the whole thing has up to desirable desirable stage. Yeah. So that's what you can say. It's doing it without.
That's pretty amazing as well. It takes a level of strength to not want to show people.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're birthing something like an idea or a project, like Simpsy said, it takes a certain level of strength not to say, oh, this is stressing me. Let me put it online. This is working. I'm so excited. I can't contain my joy. Let me not put it online. Do you get? So I feel like you stick out to me like someone who would want to keep it on that low platform.
You are not wrong.
I'm a sotia. What do they call that? I'm a sia. Let's just leave it at that.
Psychic?
Yeah, let's leave it at that. So Simpsy, back
Yeah.
to you. You've told us everything it entails to, what it means basically to just put your processes out there. So could you tell us, why do you think it's important for people to put out their processes?
So first off, sharing your journey The first thing I would say, it builds trust. Imagine, let's have a scenario where I'm a business owner, and then let's say I'm seeking out for sponsorship or yeah, sponsorship, somebody to help with funds and whatnot, and then I already have my processes out there online, and I'm trying to the how would I put this now? Explaining to the person I need help from would not be so hard, because I mean, you already you have seen the progress where it started from. It just helps you build trust,
Credibility.
credibility. Thank you, that's the word. It helps you build trust and credibility. In fact, anyone who wants to patronize you, I'm taking this from the business aspect now. Anyone that wants to patronize you will be able to look back and say, oh yes, this is something I can trust. This is something that over time I have seen. Oh, it has probably gone low, it has come high, it has found balance. I can trust this product or whatnot, and then bringing it down to, like, relationship or private life, putting yourself out there, putting your life success out there. It helps you to um, build capacity. So yeah, when I say capacity, I mean you're able to look back at, let's say you posted a picture online where you were struggling before, and then 5 years down the line you're improved. You're able to look back and then say, oh, I am no longer where I used to be. It just helps you build this confidence and whatnot. Then I would also say sharing your process opens you to opinions. So you're not just doing it alone. There is a saying that nobody is an island. Exactly. So it opens you to opinions, it opens you to ideas from people. When people see this, they're like, oh, instead of this, why not try it this way? Instead of this, why not try this way better? Maybe, let's say for instance, you're having an issue in your relationship, and then you try to maybe put it out there, ask for help, and then they're saying, oh, okay, in communication, try this way, see if it works. So sharing the process or sharing the journey literally helps you. It helps you build, like I said earlier, trust, credibility, capacity, and then you're able to navigate ideas, because you can filter. Oh, these are the ideas I'm getting from people. You pick the one that works for you, and then grow with it. So I think these are the few I can think about.
You see, amazing. You see, amazing. I love it. I feel like I'm somebody who isn't going to want to hide my processes. I'm much more out there a bit,
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I would want to add something to what you said. When you put yourself out there, you show people. First of all, you are a brand.
Yeah.
you It doesn't matter if you have a business, it doesn't matter if you're selling something, you're doing this, it doesn't matter. You are a brand. I would love to use this, I would love to make reference to this lady, Vicky James. Vicky James is a brand.
A name alone
I'm
speaks
telling
the
you.
brand. Yeah.
Take away fashion designing, take away fairy tale, I think her recent gifting business, she is a brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a beautiful thing. And then another perks of putting your journey out there is that it makes you accountable to people.
Yeah.
For example, if I say, okay, I want to learn UI UX design now, and okay, I would document 30 days of the process that it will take me to learn this skill. Okay, day one, I did this, I did this. Day two, I did this, I did that. Day three, people are asking questions. Where is she?
Yeah.
Where is
Yeah.
day three?
If you
Did
miss,
stop?
yeah.
It makes you stay in check.
True.
Something, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, rather. So I hope that you're learning, because me, I'm learning, and as you can see, the energy is out the window, and I'm motivated. So, Miss Tammy, give us some perks of keeping your life private.
Working in silence.
Yeah.
You mentioned something. I was going to say something, but I wanted you to finish. You said hiding process. Working in silence and hiding the process. I would say are two different things. I want my life to be private. Does not mean I am hiding it from you.
that's
you,
what
you will
you're
not
doing.
be-
But that's what you're doing, literally.
Wait. See, I
Do you
want that to.
understand?
I want that
Okay,
to land.
okay.
Let me catch you.
I don't want my stuff out there. Does not mean I'm running away from whatever judgment you have, even though we cannot deny the fact that somehow people, the way social media is, you mentioned relationship,
Yeah.
putting your relationship on social media,
Yeah.
all of that. We have heard so many, we have seen so many couples being, should I use the word,
Secretive.
secretive about their relationships because fans or non-fans are like just bash them and say all sorts of things that are not true. So most people do that to, I mean, on the relationship
Avoid
angle now,
criticism.
to protect their mental health.
But that means I hate to do this, but that means they are hiding it. That's it. If you're not putting something out there because you don't want people to have certain opinions about your relationship, you're hiding it from them because you feel like they are capable of, taunting what you have and you don't want it to get spoiled.
So
In this case, I do not even care what you are capable of. I do not want you to see it. Do you understand? It is me. It is my space. You shouldn't have any access to it. I show you what I want you to see.
well, at the point where you're, exactly what you just said, that you show me what you want me to see. So imagine that, let's still in the relationship aspect here, and then you are hiding the entire relationship, and then all of a sudden you just come out with wedding pictures. Do you think at that point criticism still would not come?
They would come. But at that point,
So I say this.
it was my
because
decision. It was my decision to post the pictures when I wanted to.
I say this because
And we have people that do not even post their wedding pictures.
Yeah, we have them. We have
it
them.
works for them.
Yeah.
At all. It works for them. I say this because, at the point where you post it, say, one thing I think sharing your journey or sharing, the process helps you to do. Like I said, helps you build capacity. Capacity also in the sense that you're able to take criticism.
Yeah.
So that, okay, the very moment you start to share your journey, somebody talks something, another person
You're
says
not
this.
phased at all.
Let's say at initial process you might be faced. Let's not lie. I mean, we know how wild sometimes
These trolls can be.
trolling can be.
Yeah.
But in the long run, you build a thick skin to be able to handle it. So at the point where you are already there. So okay, one thing I think working in silence that I really do not, you can debunk it if it's true and if it's wrong. When you're done, I mean, you said when you get to the desired stage, that is where you put yourself out there. I feel like at that point, you might not have the capacity to take criticism because you have been working on your own, you have been hiding your ideas, you have been working, my values, my opinions have been building on this. So when I now finally put it out there, when a criticism comes, you see that this person hates me. But the person is just honestly telling you, oh, there is a loophole in what you posted. There is a loophole in the project you did. So I think that sharing your processes online or might not even be online with your friends or whatnot, sharing your journey helps you to build capacity to take feedbacks, whether positive or negative. You're able to build a thick skin to take it.
Now, I'm not denying the fact that working in silence doesn't have its cons.
True.
But let's do the perks
Now,
first.
yes,
Okay,
coming
alright.
back to
The pets.
pros
Oh,
here.
we moved too fast.
Yeah.
So, the first would be, for me, increased focus.
Okay.
I mean, you get to focus squarely on what you're doing.
Yeah, no distraction.
No distraction of any kind. Now, I know of people that before they even venture into a project, they would have already gone online, do all of the research they
Uh-huh.
used to do, throw questions, get criticism, get opinions of people. So I feel like
Sorry, I'm laughing because isn't that another means of sharing your journey?
you're not sharing your process. You're not sharing something as I have this idea. I know this thing. What do you think about it?
That's
And then
true.
after gathering all of the opinions and all, you start working in silence.
That's really funny, actually.
Yeah, I know of people that do that.
That's
It's not.
funny.
I know of people that do that. Now, moving on, I would say working in silence increases creativity. It gives you time to think. It still boils down to avoiding distraction. So
Yeah.
it gives you time to think, gives you time to brainstorm, and
Gives you
all of that.
clarity,
Yeah,
tunnel vision.
yeah. And then it reduces, should I say it reduces stress? This part is quite broad because sometimes you really need to, but in a way, it reduces stress. It helps you, avoid unnecessary drama.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Dami. So if you're watching to this point, I know that you're probably as confused as I am because I'm finding it so difficult to pick a side. Actually, I don't know if I should keep my life private or I should put it out there
Share the
because
journey.
if I don't put it out there, I'm missing out on something. I'm a brand. I said that actually. I'm a brand. So how do I put my brand out there? How do I be, popular without doing too much? So yeah, let's talk about the cons of sharing your journey.
So first things first, I feel like she mentioned a part of it. You might the focus part, that's where I want to start out from.
Okay.
Sometimes you really need to have um your vision
Know your why.
as the number one thing. But sometimes when you share your journey, I would say the cons and probably prefer a solution.
Absolutely fine.
Okay, that's it. So sometimes you really need to have your vision right in front of you. Like what is the same thing what she said just now. Know
Know
your
your
why.
why.
Then sharing your process online might almost deviate you from that.
Exactly. I was going to say that. Are
Because-
you sharing because you want people to see your progress and give opinion, or are you sharing because you want people to commend you?
So, well, it goes both ways. I can be sharing because I want to hear feedbacks. I want to hear what you think. I want to let me know. I mean, sometimes having a well done goes a long way.
Yeah.
We both know that. Having somebody tell you, oh, thumbs up, that was good. You know that, oh, it gives you this confidence of, okay, I can move on to the next level. But sometimes again, imagine maybe you're expecting, sometimes we have expectations. You have done so much and then you're like, oh, let me put this out there.
Let me see what people
I'm going
think.
to get, and then you just get negative, negative, negative. That could weigh you down.
Yeah.
That's why I said I'll prefer a solution also. In that moment where you get negative feedbacks, there is one thing my brother would always say that in protecting your mental health, when you say, oh, you don't want people to criticize you, don't want people to criticize you, let it take criticism. And in that negative criticism, pick what you know is right.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
For them.
we always say it, the truth is bitter. As bitter as that truth is,
It's the
take
medicine
it,
you
yeah.
need.
Yeah.
take it and then work on it. In that way, you're building yourself, you're building your confidence, you're building your, like I said earlier, your ability to take criticism. In that way, going forward, let's say you have even gone further than where you started from. Any criticism that comes at that time, because you put it out there, you took criticism and you took it in the right way. Sometimes correction comes. Sorry, I have me and David. Correction comes in like different ways.
Yeah.
You can correct somebody in love, and you can just correct out of. You will take the correction in love more than, even if it doesn't
Yeah,
come
that's
in love. But the person receiving the correction, I've learned over time that however the correction comes, learn to see what they are correcting you for first before you look at how did they say it.
It hits me.
Yes. Don't be like that. Learn to see, oh, what am I being corrected for? What is this criticism coming for? Is it my relationship? I mean, a lot of people, I still find it an issue when a lot of people get into toxic relationships. I'm very sure those people would have people around them
Yes, of course.
that would have probably said, I have noticed one or two things about this guy. I have noticed this, I have noticed that. It's not less for you to say, she's jealous or he is jealous.
Yeah.
Or for you to sit down and actually think, oh, do I notice these things also? Those kind of things. What was I saying?
Not like people say they don't be correct.
Where they in love.
So
True.
I'm going to say something in regards to what you just said. Somebody, I think I was watching an interview where somebody said that it's good to care. You know, in this generation, people are always like, "Oh, I don't care about that. I don't care about what anybody says about me. It's not my business." No matter how you try to run away from the fact that you care, you still end up at that same point where you care. So it's not a bad thing for you to care. You're just being human. It's
True.
in our nature to care.
Yeah.
But do not let the opinions of other people control your life. So when somebody says something about you, okay, somebody says this, I feel bad that this person said this rather. So why does this person think this of me? Is there something that I need to work on? I think you've said everything.
Yeah.
Actually, is there something about this that even if you know that that correction is shielded in hatred, just speak out what you think would help you become a better
Better
version
person,
of
yeah,
yourself
true.
and move.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were giving us the cons.
Yeah,
of
so
putting your
I
journey out
think
there.
it was the criticism
Yeah,
aspect.
yeah.
I mean, getting distracted because you might have over flooded ideas
Yeah.
or opinions, and then you
You
just
get
get
bombarded,
lost at
yeah.
why did I even start this project? What is going on? That and that. Then another one that I would say is, I think distraction is like one of the major effects of putting yourself out there. Distraction, you can easily get distracted. You
Yeah.
can easily get swayed from the reason you started. And then I think we already provided a solution to that.
To that, yeah.
Have your vision right in front of you. So
Yeah.
regardless of the amount of opinions you're getting, you know the reason I'm doing this is because of this. So if your opinion is not aligning with why I am doing this, I will take it. Oh, I'm sorry, I won't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Thank you so much, Nancy. That was really insightful. Yeah. So, Dami, give us some of the. I feel like I have a long list of cons for why you
Working
should not
in
be.
silence.
Yeah, why you should not be putting. But it's not my. Everybody cannot put their lives out there.
Out there,
So, give
yeah.
us certain cons of putting your life private or not sharing your journey. Basically.
Okay, I would say, like Cynthia has been saying, working in silence leads you to feedback, get limited feedback from people. Sometimes you may miss it, and probably you might need correction. You might really need the opinions of people. You might really need those criticisms. So working in silence limits you from all of this feedback. Another thing is isolation. You begin to feel isolated. You begin to feel alone, and sometimes you get to feel.
I was going to add this isolation thing. You know, most times when you are so independent that I can do anything,
feel like you don't need
you don't
anybody.
need anybody. Yes,
Yeah.
you begin to just notice that all of a sudden you're not sociable. Yes, you're not sociable. You're not even opening to your immediate family self.
Okay, I will not forget to add this lack of accountability. We cannot downplay the role of accountability in anything. we are doing.
Anything. True.
You have to be accountable to at least one person.
Because even the disciplined person can tend to, deviate
Yeah.
because he's not answerable to anybody.
Yeah.
So that could pose a very big problem.
It could lead to you might lose motivation.
True.
You might lose direction.
Yeah.
Like we have just said.
True.
And then it's very easy to procrastinate. If you're not accountable. It's very, very easy.
I know a queen procrastination.
And then finally, and most importantly, I would say, missed opportunity.
True.
People
That hits
are,
Yeah.
there are people that are online literally to see talent, identify talent,
And then
develop it.
yeah.
Do you understand? So working in silence might make album all
It
over.
might not
Very
even
true,
be
very true.
developing. It might be, sometimes you can't, as much as we would like to say, oh, we're all fast in whatever ventures that you're into. When you want to, like, I like to give plausible examples. When you want to build a house, it's not just the bricklayer. You will need the bricklayer, the plumber, the carpenter,
Even the most insignificant people that
painter.
you need them.
So a lot of people come online and they are looking for, oh, who can I work with on a
Yeah,
particular
to
project
achieve
that I'm
this.
working on. So imagine, maybe let's say for instance I paint, and then there is somebody that wants to do a building project, and I'm working in silence. I'm not putting myself out there, and I do excellent jobs.
Nobody's gonna know.
nobody, who's gonna know?
Nobody. Thank you very much, guys. This has been really insightful. So I have just one question for you guys before we leave this.
Okay.
So if I know you spoke about, documenting your journey, putting your journey out there, but if you had an opportunity to pick between, putting your journey out there and,
Working in silence.
silent moves, what would you go for?
So I'm a girl that likes to play it safe. I feel like I'll balance the both. The time where I'm supposed to work in silence, I will do that. And then the times where I feel like, oh no, this project has to be out there. A lot of people need to see this. I need to hear people's opinion about this. I'll put it out there. I wouldn't just put my entire life. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put my entire life
Out
out
there.
there.
Yeah. So Dami, which would you go for?
All my reaction have made it clear that I strongly support Simply. I won't be in between.
Yeah.
When I need to work in silence, which according to me might be most times, I would work in silence when I need to. When I need to share my progress, I would just
All right, thank you very much. So if you're watching and you've gotten to this point of the video, probably, you are itching to hear what I have to say, what I will do. I will tell you, but before I do that, I feel like it's important to be surrounded by good people who love you for you, people who see your talents before you even see them. Imagine you're saying, okay, you will try to balance it out when you're working on the project and you feel like this should be out there. Put it out there. But there are certain times that you're working on something and you're like, nah, this is not worth putting it out there.
Yeah.
And then somebody in your circle would identify that and be like, no, this is gonna blow up, put it out there. So in all of these discussions, in all of the trying to balance, putting it out there, working in silence, be surrounded by good people who
True.
see your talent before you do. And I feel like you're just, ready to be a very big successful person. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you so much, my sweetheart, for doing this.
Thank you for having us.
A pleasure. So guys, see you again next time. You have been watching Trend Talk here on the Ombudsman Review. My name is Maxi Fancy, and I have with me my amazing guests that made this fun feel. Simpsy and Davi. And together we say bye.